Hey beauty, welcome to Makeup with a Message on Crowned with Luz. Today I'll be creating a glowing look for beauties 40 and up. I'll be sharing my go-to products, pro techniques, and ways to enhance mature skin. And in part 2, I'll dive deeper into a powerful message about the beauty of surrender. So don't miss it. And if you want to see how I created this look, then keep on watching. We're going to start with my lips. So I love to just hydrate the lips. This one is by Sonage, and it is their Lusine Botanical Salve. Amazing. And then I'm going to go and follow through with my skincare. Today, let's start with, so I love this hibiscus tea glow mist by, I believe it's by Tea Time. So this one's the Tea Time glow mist spray, and I'm just going to spray a little bit. I'm going to go ahead and use a facial serum. This one's by Ultraceuticals, and because it's a serum, serums have a smaller molecules, so they penetrate the skin much quicker. The Luster Eye Cream, let's apply that, and you want to make sure you don't pull your eyes at all. Just be really super gentle. I'm going to use the Aloe Vera moisturizer, and we're going to try to link these below in the description box in case you want to try any of these. And I like to just warm it up in, the palm of my hand, because a hydrated canvas is what's going to allow for your makeup to really just seamlessly blend in with your skin. So we'll start with the skin, and I've been really loving mixing my foundation with this Glossier Future Dew. It's called Future Dew All Serum Hybrid. So it's a serum, and you mix it with your foundation, or you could use it alone, but it gives you this dewy look. And I'm going to be using the House Labs today. It also helps the foundation to kind of be a little bit more sheer, so it's not as heavy. Blend everything seamlessly, so quick, effortlessly. I'll start with my brows. What I'm going to do is just brush them up and fill them in wherever I need it. By the way, when I do brows, I like to connect it with authority, because Jesus gave us the authority. And I love that. And when I found out the truth of that, it really changed my perspective and my life. So I'm going to go in, like I said, this one is the Anastasia Beverly Hills. So right now I'm going to use the taupe. And I'm kind of mimicking wherever I need a little bit more love and definition. You can brush your hairs down and go and fill in that top line as well, very lightly. And what I'm using is an angled brush liner. This one's by Anastasia Beverly Hills, and it has a little bit of a spoolie on the other end. Next, I'm gonna do my eyes. So if you have discoloration in your lids, it's good to use a primer that has some pigment in there, so it neutralizes the color. Actually, I'm going to be using a concealer. More product we put, the more it's going to crease. But we want something for the shadow to grab onto. Once it's blended, I'm going to go in and set it. If you wait too long, it's going to crease. You want to come back and blend it again. And I'm just going to tap. I'm going to tap that. I'm going to dip into this palette. It's the Born This Way, the Natural Nudes by Too Faced Cosmetics. I believe it was Psalm 91 where it talks about being under the shadow of the wings of the Almighty. So when we are close to Him, we're so much more protected. So my goal is always, Lord, help me to always be under the shadow of your wings. Normally, I don't like to wear shimmer because shimmer kind of accentuates our fine lines. So avoid shimmer where there's any fine lines or even wrinkles, whatever. I try to avoid shimmer where there are fine lines, basically. I'm gonna dip into Petal right here. It's a flat color, flat shade, and just go over my lids a little bit. I'm gonna go in, like I said, with this angled brush, and I'm gonna use this other color, the darker. It's like a warm brown. I'm gonna dip that in, and I'm gonna go in really close. And just, again, just like how I did the brows, I'm gonna do the same thing with my lash line. You could tilt your head back if it's easier. So next I'm going to do my mascara and then plug in a few lashes, individual lashes, where I need them. I'm gonna be using the Kevyn Aucoin mascara. This one has been in my bag, I believe probably for the last 3 years. And I think they discontinued it and I'm so sad. But this one is there, the Indecent mascara, and I love the way it makes my lashes look. So I'll start to do my mascara and we'll be right back. So I'm gonna go in and plug in a few individuals just to fill in a few of the sparse areas, and I'll be back. Okay, so now that I've plugged in a few individuals, I'm going to leave them like this just so it looks a little bit more three-dimensional, not too much mascara. And we're gonna now jump into our contour. I'm going to be using this new contour stick by Anastasia Beverly Hills. Love the packaging, by the way. And this is supposed to be like a smooth blur contour, so it's supposed to blur the skin. The two colors that I believe are going to be closest to, for me, are the halftone, which is the lightest shade, and shadow, which is the second. And you can see the difference between the two here. Now contour, if you can see that, so contour is supposed to be a cooler tone shade, and these are cooler tones. Bronzer, on the other hand, warmer, or a little bit more, I don't want to say orange, but it's just warmer. Never want to put orange on your face. But I love the way it also blends. So let's go ahead and contour. And what I like to do is I like to contour the nose with a shade that's slightly lighter. So I'm going to mix them both, and then I'm going to contour the rest of my face with the other color. So let's, first time I'm trying this out. Actually, it's pretty creamy, which again, for women over 40, again, you want to use creams and liquids, which is going to give you a little bit more of that dewy finish. And what I love is that it blurs, so we want all the blur we can get, right, ladies? This is the brush that they also sent. It's their A30 brush. I'm going to blend it with that. And what I'm doing is mostly tapping. I'm not pulling, I'm not moving, but I like to blend it with a brush, then go back with my beauty blender. And I'm putting the contour just below my cheekbones, just to lift that up, because the goal is to look like you have chiseled higher cheekbones, and you can see already what it's doing. So beautiful. I'm going to do the same thing down here, and because I don't have foundation here, it's okay. I'm going to blend this back and forth, and what I'm doing here is helping. That, I don't know if they call that a gel. I don't know what they call it. But I'm 51, guys, and never done anything to my skin, to my face, but I'm already noticing that there. So what I'm doing now is just blending it. You could see the difference. And I'm going to go back with my beauty blender. There's nothing really on here. I'm just going to blend. You want to make sure that everything is soft and blended. Okay, next we're going to go in with our concealer. Today I'm going to be mixing these two shades by Laura Mercier, and this one is the Real Flawless Weightless Perfecting Concealer. You can use your fingers, by the way, to apply this. I'm going to just be using a brush for today, and then I'll go ahead and blend it with my fingers. And the key is to get a little bit of brightness just in that area. Don't apply too much concealer or product where the fine lines are. Blend it up so that you don't get too much creasing. And again, I'm just tapping it lightly. You could use your beauty blender, and maybe I'll do that. I'll go back with my beauty blender. So again, I like to spray my beauty blender with setting spray a little bit, and then go ahead and blend the rest of the product, which I feel like just seals it and helps it to stay on longer. Okay, so once my concealer's on, I'm gonna go in with my blush. One that I've been using lately, which I love, is by Glam. This one's it's just like a little sponge at the tip. I also really love any of these cream ones. Again, for women over 40, again, you want to keep your skin hydrated. So as little powder as use as little powder as possible. So I love this one is by Persona Cosmetics. This one is in the shade Georgia. It's their blush stick. You can see how pretty it is. I love my peachy pink tones are really, really my favorite. And then you could see it's pretty close. I'm going to warm it up with my fingers. Again, I want to make sure it's warm and just getting it. You can also put it at the back of your hand and just warm it up. And then with your fingers, just tap, tap, tap. You could use your beauty blender to blend it. I like to go back in with my beauty blender where I have that. And the location of the blush, so beautiful, is just at the apples of your cheeks when you smile. But make sure you also, when you're not smiling, the placement is correct. I'm going to go in actually and also use the Glam. And I'm going to use, I love this brush by Rare Beauty. It's the blush brush, I believe. There's no number on it, it's just by Rare Beauty, but it's this angled brush. But it's so sparse that it helps to just diffuse that blush so beautifully. And if my ladies over 40, you know that the older we get, the more we lose the color to our skin. So when you use blush, it just brightens you and it's a little bit more youthful. We want to now set our foundation, our creams, our contours, everything we use. And the way to do that is just use powder. I like to use the Laura Mercier. This one's their brightening powder, under eye powder, and their translucent setting powder. And you want to tap, tap, tap again. We're tapping, just setting that under eye. I'm going to be using a powder highlighter, but if you're super dry, you can use a liquid highlighter. And I would do that before you set your your translucent powder. This one is an amazing one. It's by Illamasqua. And what I love is such a candlelight glow. I'm going to be using a little bit of a large fluffy brush. So you want to apply that highlight right where the light hits, just above that cheekbone. I'm going to go and put a little bit in the, just in that corner, just to bring in more light there. Again, this is an event, natural event makeup. You can put a little bit above the Cupid's bow, just to give it, you know, your lips a little bit more fullness. I'm gonna put a little bit more mascara on the bottom lashes. So I'm gonna use this, it's like a soap styler, brow soap, just to brush it. I'm gonna go ahead and do my lips now. And I'm going to be using, Westmore Beauty sends me a bunch of products too, and I love, this one's the Hydrating Soothing Gel. It says 60-second lip effects. So that's what this is. This one's in the shade Nude Rose. And I'm going to be using a lip liner by Dose of Colors here, but I believe this is also like a nude rose, if I'm not mistaken. It's got the little flowers on there, but it's a really pretty, like a nude color. I don't know if you could tell. I'm almost out of it. I need to buy another one. And then I'm gonna be using, it's like a really pretty rosy tone. Such a pretty shade. And I love the, how it has the applicator. Like at the, just makes it easier to just apply. So pretty together. And that's it. We're gonna do a final spray. This one's the Dewy Finish Setting Spray by Cover FX. And that's it. That's the final look. I hope you loved this tutorial and got some helpful tips and techniques. But true beauty runs deeper. Head to part 2, where I dive deeper into the beauty of surrendering to God and how it brings peace, purpose, and lasting beauty.